Hi, Miles. Welcome this afternoon. We'll get started here shortly. Thanks for your patience. We'll get started here shortly. Thanks for your patience. We'll get started here in just a few. Thanks for your patience. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started in the interest of time. I appreciate you joining in this afternoon. I know it's a holiday for most folk, and so I will be as brief as possible today. Um, so, just for your information, I do record my lecture sessions, and I make the recordings available on Canvas, and I'll show you where you can get access to the recordings here in just a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay. Someone in the audience, please just unmute and let me know whether you're seeing the screen now. You should see the course Canvas page.
Yeah, we can see it.
Thank you very much, Tyler. I really appreciate that. I hate to be talking about the Canvas page and have students not being able to see it. So thank you for that. For those of you who have not met me, and most of you probably haven't because I'm a new adjunct to NUNEZ, my name is Dr. Zenon, and I'm going to be serving you as your lecture instructor this summer semester. So I want to welcome you. And what I want to do today is kind of orient you to the Canvas course. I'm not really familiar with how in-depth the Canvas use is on your campus, but I do run this course through Canvas, especially because we're going to be working in an online and virtual capacity. So, um, having access to the materials that you need on Canvas is critical for your success in the course. Okay. So I want to take a few minutes today to orient you to some major areas of our Canvas course and answer any beginning questions that you might have. And then when we meet on Wednesday, we'll take some time and go into a bit of, a bit more in depth with the materials once you've had a chance to do your own investigation, right? Okay. I will say this as well. At any point while I'm covering something, if you have a question, do not hesitate to unmute your mic and ask your question. Um, I'm not able to see the chat feature while I'm sharing, but once I unshare, I'll be happy to address any questions that are in the chat as well. Okay. So when you log into Canvas, you will see this course listed as one of your options. When you click on the course link for this particular course, this is the home page that you will land on. And right up front, I provide you with the link to the class and remind you that we meet every Monday and Wednesday unless otherwise specified. Um, So, right up front, you have access to joining in to our Zoom meetings. We will be using Zoom for all of our course meetings, class time meetings. There is one other product that I use for office hours, and I'll share that here momentarily. Okay. So right on the course homepage, you have my email address. And the phone number is to my office at River Parishes Community College because I am a full-time faculty there. So, that's how you can reach me by phone. When you dial that phone, you will get a voicemail. So leave me a voicemail. It gets routed to me in email automatically so I can get any voicemails that you are leaving for me. I am not in that office. And I won't be because we're working virtually. Okay. So by leaving a message, you can reach me. I always tell students though, email is probably the quickest way to reach me because I'm checking that more frequently. And sometimes there is a delay, in getting those voicemails routed to my email. So if you're trying to reach me, email is probably best. And there you have my email address right on the home page. Um, Below that, it tells you that in order to access all of the full features of our Canvas course, you must use your Nunez login page. So, for example, I'm a faculty at River Parishes, but if I log in through the River Parishes Canvas page, I have trouble utilizing the items, many of the items on the left menu. If you are a student at another college and simply taking this course with Nunez for the summer, you need to be very careful that you go to the Nunez Canvas login page. And what I mean by that, I think you'll still be able to see this. So I'm going to go to Nunez. So this is the Nunez homepage. Can you see that? I think you should be able to. Somebody, please let me know. I'm not sure what happened. Did I lose you?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, great. I was thinking, oh my goodness, I'm talking all this time and nobody's out there. All right. So what I mean is, you see, when you come to the Nunez homepage or however you get, there's a link to Canvas. And this Canvas says Nunez right in the front. That's how you know you're logging in from the Nunez page. If it has another school's name in that slot right here in the address, then that means you're not going to be able to utilize all of the functions that I've enabled in Canvas for you. Okay. So it's very critical that you log in through the Nunez homepage to Canvas from the Nunez Canvas page. All right. So it tells you below that, explains the links that you see on the left side menu. All right. So the home page button is right up here. Anytime you click, you come back to the home page. There's announcements. You can see there's an announcements button. Okay. And I advocate that you check it daily, there's a link to the syllabus. Okay. And then you get into some customized links that I've created, the course documents, which are the administrative tools for this course. You see there's a link to the course documents there on the left side. Useful links, those are academic tools. The weekly overviews, which is really, really important because it has the weekly breakdown of course materials and assignments. Assignment and activities, which explains to the various assignment and activity categories that you'll be utilizing in this course. Evaluation of student performance, which explains how grades are calculated. And then you have the Canvas grade book, which is where your scores will be housed. When I, score an assignment, I'll add your scores there and you'll be able to see them. And then there's a link to people. It shows a list of all of the people that are active and enrolled in this, participating in this course. Okay. Now there's some other buttons beneath that. You see they have this little symbol and it tells you if I hover over, it says it's not visible to students. So I see those because I'm faculty, but you don't see those because you're a student. And then this settings button, I have access to that. You don't. Okay. So all of the items that you can navigate through on the home page from the home page are explained there. Okay. All right. And then it tells you what else you need to do. It says your first task is to review all of the items on the left side menu, especially the syllabus, the weekly overviews, and the course documents. Okay. Once you have familiarized yourself with these items, proceed to the weekly overviews and complete week 1. The right side of the page, let me just slide this over. The right side of the page has a course calendar. You can see view course calendar here, which also has information on the various assignments for the course. And then below that, you'll have like a to-do list, which explains the items that you have, immediately on your plate that you need to get completed. Okay. Um, so it tells you here to return to the home page at any point. You can click this home button. And then the just sharing link, you see below, you see that this just sharing link is just some like science news items, nothing that you are going to be tested or quizzed on or anything, just me sharing, right? Little extra, as we say, or lagniappe, as we say in Louisiana. And then my bio, in the event you want to read more about who I am, my background, and so on and so forth. Okay. So from the home page, if you follow the guidance under Start Here, again, it tells you how to contact me, that you must log in from the Newness Canvas page, how to navigate, and then how do you get to like what you need to complete regarding your first assignments, right? Activities that you need to complete. All right. Any questions about anything that I've covered just looking at the home page? Okay. All right. So I'll click on the links on the left side that that you need to go in and do a more in-depth analysis of or investigation of, just so you can get a feel for what items are there and how the course is laid out. And then you go back and do this yourself so that when you need to find items for this course, you know exactly where to find them. That's our task for this week. Okay. All right. Is to get acclimated to the Canvas course, where you find things, so on and so forth. All right. Get your early questions out of the way in terms of the structure and expectations. And then next week, we're going to really hit the ground running, right? Because this is an eight-week course over the summer, which means it moves faster than, your typical 16-week semester, right? So we're really moving through the materials. So that makes it even more critical that you know how to find things when you need them, okay? All right, so I'll click on these items just so you can see that what's there. So under announcements, you have, again, that basic welcome announcement, that kind of welcomes you to the class, tells you how to get started. The other thing that you have access to is my office hours, a link here, and that was on the homepage as well. I failed to mention that, but there's a link to information on my office hours as well. And I'll talk about that here, in more detail between today and Wednesday, so that you know how to arrange for office hours if you need them. Okay. You noticed also under announcements, there was a link to some extra resources. These are just some extra notes for the class. There's some PowerPoints that I've used in previous semesters. Use them at your leisure, but I don't make any claim that those resources are what we like to call accessible, but I am sharing them in the event you want them. You want to use them, okay? But by no means are these the only notes that you have access to for this class. These are just some extra, all right? I have a link on the left menu that breaks down, the particulars of this course. So you can come back and read the majority of this material, but there's some things I do want to highlight. This is a hybrid online course, and we meet virtually. I know typically when you have a hybrid class, you do some work online, you do some work in class, physically, face-to-face. But we're not doing that. We're doing online, hybrid online, which means instead of having class face-to-face, we're going to have class time virtually using Zoom, just like we're doing now. And, you know, the course, the time we meet is listed on the home page and under the course schedule. Okay. So that's critical that you understand, because we're going to be meeting virtually utilizing Zoom every Monday and Wednesday. Okay. From 5:30 to 6:45. Now today we won't go to 6:45 because it's our first meeting. I'm just trying to give you some basics so that you can go and you know, spend some time getting acclimated, and then we'll look at a little bit more details of the course on Wednesday, and then that means next week we'll be ready to do some physical science. All right. Um, so just be mindful of that. Okay. So please make sure that you read this information about the course, how it's structured, how it's delivered, so that on Wednesday, if you have questions, we can take care of that. All right. When you click on the syllabus, that brings you to this page where you can get a downloadable and printable version of the syllabus as a PDF if you choose to. And I've also made an accessible version in Word available to you. Okay. Just a reminder of our meeting time and the Zoom link for our meetings. And then below that, you see you have a kind of a schedule, if you will, of the various assignments and due dates. Okay. So you have that available to you under the course, under the syllabus link on the left side menu. Again, I'm going through this because I'm not familiar with how in-depth the usage of Canvas is at Nunez. I don't know, you know, what instructors are using it a lot and what instructors aren't using it at all. But just for your information, I use it a lot. I use Canvas to manage the course. So it's critical that you are comfortable with where you find the things that you need. Okay. All right. The course documents. Again, it told you on the home page that these are the administrative tools. So you see here, you have information on the textbook. And let me just open that because I always get questions about that. You don't have to pay for a textbook for this class. We're using an OER textbook, which means it's freely licensed, right? We can utilize it with no cost. And what I've done is I've made the chapters available to you in the weekly overviews, the chapters that we utilize. But you know, you can definitely have your own full copy of the textbook if you like. Just email me and I'll send you a link to that. Because what I did was I took the textbook and I broke it down into chapters, and those chapters are in the weekly overviews, and I'll show you that in just a moment. So you have access to the textbook just broken down by chapter. But if you like your own full copy, maybe you want to print it, maybe you want to just have a full electronic version, I can send you a link to that. Okay. All right. Under course documents, you have the outcomes for this course. The learning outcomes basically explain to you the kinds of things that you should be able to do, and the things that you should learn as a result of taking this course. Tells you how I will assess you in this course. So it's worth taking a look at and understanding. It has the unit objectives. So for every unit of material that we cover, I have broken down for you the objectives and the things you should learn from each unit of material that we cover. I have information on the communication and email announcement and email policies for this course. Okay. So you can take a look at that. And this is provided so that we all understand, you know, how we are going to, you know, be in communication with each other, You know, the fact that there's certain etiquette and rules that you have to follow when you're communicating with me as an instructor and me with you as a student. There's information on how you might get, you know, support regarding your email if you're having trouble, how you change your email address in Canvas. But I would say one of the most important notes in this whole thing is that if you email me and you don't hear from me in 24 hours, it means something happened and I didn't get your email. That's important, right? Because you need to know the time frame. I give a 24-hour turnaround time on an email, which typically doesn't take me that long. But if in 24 hours I have not responded to your email, it means I didn't get it. Okay, so that's important to know. This link says course schedule. It takes you back to the syllabus page because there is the course schedule information, which tells you, you know, when we meet, gives you access to the Zoom link, and then a breakdown of the various assignments and their due dates. But we'll see that there's a place where there's even more detailed information regarding the assignment. So just know that you do have access to it in multiple places. And you know, I like to share those multiple places with you so that you know what you have available to you. Okay, all right. My schedule. So this is the information about my schedule and virtual office hours. Okay. I do not have any face-to-face office hours because I'm not in a physical office space. This is a virtual class, so we'll have virtual office hours, and I'm available Monday from 3:30 to 5:30, Wednesday 3:30 to 5:30. So just before this class, right? Just before this class. And this tells you that I use freeconferencecall.com to accomplish office hours, okay? And it gives you background and information on how to use freeconferencecall.com so that if you want to have an office hour session with me, we can do that. Okay. Any questions about that? Okay. Zoom. I have information on Zoom available for you as well. Obviously, you are able to get in today. Um, but just some, you know, if you ever need some like support, that kind of thing regarding Zoom. Okay. The academic calendar, this takes you to the Nunez academic calendar, which gives you all of the important dates and that kind of thing. So, you know, if you have need for the academic calendar, you have a link for right available under course documents. My use of Google Drive. So, you know, it explains to you what I use Google Drive for, and if you need help with Google Drive. This is not to say that, well, put it this way. It gives you the information so that you know that when you're looking for these items, when you get to, you're going to find them. When you click on them, they're going to be available in Google Drive. Not that you need to have Google Drive or anything like that on your machine, just that when you click on them, it's going to open up in a window, and that's where I'm storing them. Okay. Classroom etiquette. So it, you know, these are the rules of engagement, if you will, in terms of how we're going to conduct ourselves with each other. Okay. So you want to take a look at that. Software policies. This just gives some background on some of the software pieces that I use in this class. Take you know, in terms of the privacy and accessibility information. Technology skills that you need to function in this class. So these are the kinds of things that you should be able to do to be successful in this class. Canvas and Canvas support. So, and then I have here, you know, some guides to help you function regarding Canvas. One of the most important ones is how do you change your email address in Canvas, where you have to go into your account. Oh, I clicked on the avatar. I apologize. Uh, so go into your profile. No, sorry, settings. Go into your settings, and then here on the right side, you can add other email addresses. In fact, it has my River Parish's email as a primary way to contact. That's because I'm a faculty member at River Parishes, but I could add an email address if I wanted to. Um, for example, I could add Nunez as a, okay. And so it sent me a confirmation link, okay, that kind of thing. And then I could decide if I wanted to, once I confirm it, I could make it primary if I wanted to. But, the reason I show this is because the email address that's here for you is the one that I'm going to utilize to communicate with you when I send out emails to the class. If you have an old or outdated email address here, then most likely when I communicate with the class, your stuff's going to go into the bit bucket and you won't ever see it. So please go in and make sure that you have a good email address in Canvas. And it does explain to you here, I did make available to you how to change your email address in Canvas right there in the email policy. Okay. Lola support, that there's you can send an email or give them a phone call. Some other student resources that are available to you: disability services, student success center, so on and so forth. I try to make these things available because if you're working virtually, long distance like I am, then sometimes it's helpful to be able to reach out to an office by phone or what have you. So I make those things available. Disability accommodations, specifically if you're interested in that, there's a phone number and a contact person, that kind of thing available to you here. Our Title IX statement for Nunez, that's regarding discrimination and so on and so forth. And it gives you, contact information if you have some issues in that area. A FERPA statement, that's privacy. So it basically tells you that if you want to discuss grades, then you have to use your school email address. FERPA policy says I'm not allowed to communicate about grades over a personal, like your Gmail or Hotmail email address. But, most communications we can accomplish with your email address that's in Canvas. But there are some we have to be very careful about because we want to protect your privacy. All right. The email alert system. So go and register for it. You can register for the emergency alert system so that you get proper notification the campus is closed. And while I know that there has been a relaxation on many of the COVID protocols, this came up when I generated the syllabus. So I wanted to make sure that I put it out there. But, hey, that doesn't, our communications are going to be virtual. So, when you go on campus, you follow whatever face-to-face protocols they have, right? So that's course documents. Again, I just briefly clicked on the links. Your task between now and Wednesday is to go click on the links and do your own reading, process the information, have your questions available, and then, we can talk through them on Wednesday. Useful links. These are academic tools. So these are some things that can help you with the course material, okay? And then there's a class questions discussion forum. You can always post a question out there for me or your classmates, and we'll chime in. But these are some free textbook resources, tutorials, all of those kinds of things that you might want to utilize. Okay. And then another very, very important category area, that is the weekly overviews. Because if you noticed, I have the course broken down by week here. Okay. So let's take a look at a couple of these so you get the idea of the structure of the weekly overviews. And then you can come back and take a look at all of them and be prepared to ask any questions that you might have come Wednesday. All right. So the first one I'll click on is this introductions overview. Here's the introductions overview. Notice when you click on that, it has the objectives for the week. Excuse me, for the week. For the topic, okay? The activities that you have to complete along with the due dates, and some reference materials or notes to help you with that topic area, okay? So this week is totally designed to get you acclimated to the course. So the way that you're going to do that is by working through these various activities, okay? So for example, it says, please review the syllabus. There's a link to the syllabus. Please read and review all of the items in the required readings viewings before you complete the activities below. So go take a look at these items and then come back and complete these activities by Saturday, June 5th, 11:59 p.m. So complete this course information practice quiz. There's a link to it. Sign and date and send me the last page of the syllabus. There's the syllabus signature page, and there's instructions on how you submit it to me. Introduce yourself. There's a link to the introduce yourself. Do the Netiquette discussion. There's a link to it. And then there's a link again to the class questions in the event that you have questions while you're working. And then, you know, these are all videos and information to get you started, get you, ready to move forward in terms of, preparing yourself to deal with this material, this course. All right. So that's your introductions weekly overview for this week. Next week, we'll start our physical science stuff. So let's just I'm just going to click on one of these so you get the general idea of how things are structured. And then I'll point out some key things that I put in the weekly overviews beyond that. Okay. So one of the things we're going to be working on next week is measurement. So here are the objectives for this topic. Here are the activities that you need to complete for this topic. And here's the chapter in the textbook that deals with this topic, video, and my notes. My notes, they're mine. They always say supplemental. Textbook, videos, my lecture notes that I will cover with you next week. Okay. Every weekly overview is broken down like that. Every single one of these overviews is broken down. Objectives, activities that show what you need to complete and the deadline, and materials related to the topic. So for example, in week 5, you're going to deal with momentum. Here are the objectives regarding momentum, which says what you should understand and be able to do once you finish with this material. Here are the activities and the due dates for those activities. And here are the notes related to momentum. Material from the textbook, videos, and my notes. Okay, so every weekly overview is broken down like that. That's why it's critical that you spend time getting comfortable with how this course is structured so that you can find what you need when you need it, right? Some other areas that are on the weekly overviews, you're going to do a project, and here's information on the project article deadline. There's Information on midterm available there. Even though you can't get in the midterm, but there's information there. Okay. Information on a project that we'll talk about. All right. And then finals. So this weekly overviews menu item will bring you to this, which is a weekly breakdown of the information and activities that you need to be completing. Okay. All right. Any questions on the weekly overviews? Because that's a major category area. Right? Assignments and activities. Please do not think that when you click on assignment and activities, you're going to come to a listing of your assignments and activities. Those are in the weekly overview. What this does is explain the various types of activities that you'll be completing. So you can see from just looking at this that you're going to be doing something called problem sets. You're going to be doing discussions. You're going to have to do a project. You have a midterm and a final. And then it explains here how you submit any assignment or exam to me. Okay. All right. So, and then below that, how do I grade you? This explains how the various points are, for each assignment is established, right? So like problem sets are worth 10 points each. You'll do 10 of them, 100 points, so on and so forth. Total possible points. And then the grading scale, okay? And then information on incomplete grades, so on and so forth, okay? So, and then if you click on the grade book, it'll bring you, like, for example, if you click on yours, it'll just show you your category. It won't show you anybody else's, but that's where you'll find your points and information, okay? On your scores. All right. So the other thing that I want you to be aware of is that on the right side, you'll see a to-do list. Please utilize this as a reminder tool. Yes, you can click on them, but where a lot of students get messed up is that they click on these without having gone to the weekly overviews. And then they email me and said, well, I see the assignment, but what do I use? Where are the notes? How do I? The weekly overviews is where you find the notes, the assignments, all of the material that you need to complete the activity information, the weekly overviews. Okay? This is just a reminder. These are the things that you have on your plate. You find the material and information to complete those activities and assignments in the weekly overviews, right? So that's just a general introduction to the course in terms of the layout. What your task is between now and Wednesday is to go and do your own due diligence by clicking on these items and investigating so that you know how the course is structured. To get started, you follow the information under start here. And then by the 5th, you need to have these items completed. Okay, but we will meet on Wednesday. I will address any questions you have then. And then next week, we'll be ready to move forward with the physical science. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing now and ask, what are your questions at this point? Nobody has questions. Okay. Well, hopefully that means I did an okay job for our first meeting. Let me ask this question. Tyler, Mark, Miles, and Matt, are you in my lab class at 7 o'clock tonight?
I am.
I am.
Okay. Miles, are you in my class tonight?
He typed in the chat that he is.
Yes. Matt, are you in my lab class tonight? Okay, let me see. Okay, make sure I got that right there. The reason I'm asking that question is because the introduction that I'm going to give, that I would give in a lab class, is the exact same thing that I just did for this class. Now understand, they're two separate classes, but my classes are structured very similarly. And the introduction that I did tonight is the same kind of introduction that I would do in a lab class. So if you've heard it already and you feel comfortable that you can follow, you know, follow along and take a look at the class, and we can meet on Wednesday, then we don't have, the lab class doesn't have to meet at, well, put it this way, you don't have to meet me at 7 o'clock tonight. You can go spend time getting acclimated with both classes between now and then, right? Uh, the last thing I like to do for students is waste their time, and the introduction is going to be basically the same. So is that acceptable to you know, in terms of, well, you've already heard it. Okay. So Matt is not in my class. Oh, he didn't take lab. Okay, so that's great, because that means that Tyler, Mark, and Miles, you don't have to meet me at 7 o'clock tonight unless you just want to hear a repeat of pretty much what I've covered in terms of the structure. The class is structured very similarly. You'll see that when you go in. All right, so with that, I'll say thank you for joining in tonight or this afternoon. I look forward to, going a little bit more in depth on Wednesday and answering any questions that you might have about the course and its structure and expectations, and then we'll move forward. So I know I took part of your Memorial Day holiday away, but hopefully it's been 45 minutes well invested. So I'll see you back here on Wednesday.
All right, see you Wednesday.
Okay,
Take
thank
care.
you.